Sure, here's the plain, rephrase script in clean paragraph form without headings or formatting. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Please make sure to subscribe to Sister Wives Underground and give this video a thumbs up. Today's episode dives into something fans can't stop talking about, Cody Brown's dramatic physical transformation. His makeover has sparked intense speculation, with many wondering if there's a deeper reason behind it. Cody Brown, the well-known patriarch of the Sister Wives family, was involved in a polygamous marriage for 3 decades, with his wives Christine, Meri, Janelle, and his current wife, Robin. Together they built a large family with 18 children, living according to their fundamentalist Mormon beliefs. But in recent years, everything changed. Cody's increasing favoritism toward Robin caused tension and emotional distance between him and his other wives. Eventually, all 3, Christine, Janelle, and Meri, left the marriage. These breakups weren't easy on Cody. He's spoken publicly about feeling abandoned by his ex-wives. On top of that, many of his grown children have pulled away and stopped communicating with him. Even his relationship with Robin hasn't been completely smooth. Still, lately Cody seems to be in better spirits. He's told Robin he wants to repair his relationships with his kids. But he's made it clear he won't be going out of his way to seek their approval. Robin's happiness still comes first in his life. As he moves on from the heartbreak, Cody appears to be focusing on his own happiness. He recently made a significant profit selling a high-value property, and he used the earnings to buy a new home worth nearly $2 million. He also made more than double what he and his former wives originally invested in their Coyote Pass land. With all this money, Cody has reportedly been spending lavishly, both on himself and Robin. Another thing that's caught fans' attention is his appearance. Cody's smile has changed noticeably. His overall look appears younger and more refreshed, sparking rumors that he may have undergone cosmetic procedures. A user on Reddit, LoudGuard2312, shared a screenshot from one of Cody's recent cameo videos posted in June 2025. The user suggested that Cody might have had dental work done, possibly cosmetic dentistry that gave him new, whiter teeth and a dramatically improved smile. The reaction online was swift. Nearly 400 people commented on the Reddit post. Some were impressed, but others weren't convinced. One user compared Cody's smile to that of an American Girl doll, suggesting it looked unnatural and forced. Others questioned whether the changes were really about personal growth or just another layer to his carefully controlled image. No matter how you see it, one thing is certain, Cody Brown is going through a major transformation. Whether it's about healing, rebranding, or starting over with Robin, the shift is impossible to ignore. The real question is whether this new version of Cody will lead to reconciliation or just more distance between him and the family he once led. It appears to be obvious that Cody Brown also listens carefully to what others say about him on the internet, particularly on Reddit. For years, fans made comments about his obviously yellowed teeth, and finally Cody took action. But instead of choosing subtle cosmetic enhancements, fans complain that the new look is, particularly the fake-looking dental flippers, is too much, bordering on pretender teeth that children wear in beauty contests. Other fans feel these radical transformations aren't simply about bettering himself. He's making a statement to his former wives, particularly Christine. Christine, Cody says, was never a woman he paid that much attention to. But his behavior does tell another story. When she broke up with him, Cody accused her of betrayal. But then he took it back and said he never really cared about her in the first place. Then, in season 19's Tell All, Cody had another biting remark. "I pity Christine and David for having to make their lives all about me and Robin." That statement raised eyebrows. If he really didn't care, why mention them at all? There is an increasing opinion among fans that Cody is upset about how fast Christine moved on. She moved on and met David, and she appears truly happy. That may be painful for Cody, who is seemingly attempting to persuade himself and the general public that Christine remains obsessed with him. To watch her happy and smiling may provoke jealousy or guilt, leading him to alter his appearance as a means of displaying confidence and happiness. By appearing younger and more refined, perhaps Cody is attempting to provide the illusion that he's moved on quite as well. But Christine isn't the only ex potentially impacting his makeover. Janelle's exit also had an effect. She prioritized her children and her sanity over the marriage, leaving Cody feeling replaced. When COVID-19 struck, Janelle wasn't afraid to push back against Cody's rules. She wouldn't evict their sons from the house, insisted on her portion of the Coyote Pass property, and wouldn't let Cody have it all for himself. In 2022, Janelle took a drastic measure. She left. She relocated to North Carolina, purchased a new house, and concentrated on her children, her animals, and starting a business. While Janelle was satisfied in her newfound independence, Cody could have been lurking in the shadows, quietly jealous. Some believe that his smile transformation and facial procedures could be an attempt to get a rise out of Janelle, to make her feel like he's doing so well without her. In reality, Cody may be employing his physical transformation as emotional protection, attempting to show, to himself and to his former wives, that he's still attractive, still powerful, and still able to be happy. Though the truth is more involved, Cody may also be attempting to elicit a response from Janelle by flaunting his new confidence and image transformation. Although she has not sought out a new romance, neither does she indicate regret for having left him. Cody, however, may be using this transformation as a means of getting her to question her choice, to instill feelings of loss or nostalgia. He may be flaunting his glow-up in hopes of making her think she gave up on him too soon. And then there's Meri. For a long time, Cody seemed to consider her his favorite wife, despite treating her poorly throughout much of their relationship. Unlike Christine and Janelle, who have clearly moved on, Meri is still single. That may be sufficient for Cody to notice an opening, maybe even a chance to rekindle their relationship. Based on her close relationship with Robin and their history together, Cody may be considering polygamy once more, and he may think Meri is the most likely candidate to come back. Cody's new image, his smile, his attire, his prosperity may be all part of a strategy to reclaim Meri. Perhaps he is expecting that by looking tougher, better looking, and better adjusted, Meri will change her mind. His relationship with her has always been complicated. As Meri told the world she was going back to Utah, Cody burst into tears on live TV, declaring it the end of an era. His outburst was passionate, but it only served to show how much he dreaded losing control and the status that came with his plural family. Other fans speculate that Cody's tears were not only about heartbreak. They could be about reputation, about losing the position of symbolic head of a big polygamous family. Now, with his lifestyle unraveling and his image in decline, Cody might be attempting to regain that position by persuading Meri to return. And since she is now single, he might believe a well-timed sales pitch, coupled with his new fresh-off-the-boxes look, would be on his side. At the same time, Janelle Brown has spoken out about Cody's real reasons for marrying Marietta, revealing the cracks that appeared behind the scenes. Janelle and Cody were spiritually married in 1993, which made her his second wife within their polygamous family. Theirs was already an odd relationship. Janelle's mother was married to Cody's father, so they became step-siblings even before they became husband and wife. Even though she was brought up monogamously, Janelle accepted the experience of plural marriage and ended up having 6 kids with Cody. She attempted to make the family unit function for years, but tensions arose as Cody's favoritism towards Robin became increasingly apparent. His relationship with Janelle and their children started to suffer. At the core of their issues was a conflict of values. Cody desired to establish traditional patriarchal authority, whereas Janelle inclined towards being more independent and pragmatic. Once Christine left the family, following in 2021, the fissures opened even more, particularly as Janelle began prioritizing her own well-being over Cody's insistence. Things with Cody Brown and Janelle continued to unravel until they publicly declared their breakup in December 2022. In Janelle's opinion, the split was a result of profound financial differences and Cody's absence from their children. While they had been together for decades as spiritual mates, Janelle was adamant. She never thought of their union as a legal marriage, and thus doesn't count herself divorced. In her mind, she's just single and ready to move on. Sadly, the death of their son Garrison Brown in March 2024 temporarily reunited Janelle and Cody. Nevertheless, even with this devastating loss, Janelle was resolute in her determination to live on her own. She has openly declared she has no plans to remarry. Self-respect, liberty, and peace are now her priorities, things she believed she lacked throughout her marriage to Cody. On the season 19 tell-all special of Sister Wives, Janelle revealed even more. She presented a dramatic theory that Cody intentionally played the villain to shield Robin. In Janelle's account, he played the part of the bad guy to deflect fault from his beloved wife and guard her against judgment. She actually called it the gospel according to Janelle, indicating this was her own take on his actions based on what she went through. When queried about her present status in terms of relationship with Cody and Robin, Janelle didn't mince words. Although she might be polite in her demeanor towards Cody for the sake of their kids, she made it loudly and clearly known she isn't interested in any type of relationship whatsoever with either him or Robin. Her flat-out declaration spoke volumes. Flatly, "I just don't like him." That straightforward statement affirmatively claimed what most fans already knew. Any reconciliation between Janelle and Cody is extremely unlikely. That being said, Janelle hasn't cut everyone from the Brown family out of her life. Her relationship with Christine, in particular, has become much stronger since both women parted ways with Cody. They've supported each other through the emotional rollercoaster of being separated through the shared experience of being a former sister wife. Through public outings, family visits, or simply being there for one another, their relationship has flourished. Christine appreciates Janelle's level-headed, down-to-earth personality, and Janelle admires Christine's courage and autonomy. Although they both reside in other states now, they still support each other emotionally as they co-parent and develop as individuals. So how is Cody's relationship with his former wives now? Complicated. Not all of them can be his favorite anymore. Following Meri, his first wife, actually abandoning him in 2022, things yet again changed. And interestingly enough, his relationship with Meri now appears to be better. It was recently disclosed on season 19 of Sister Wives, Cody bluntly called out Meri as his favorite ex-wife, and that did not sit well with Janelle or Christine. Janelle said she felt the remark undermined the years she spent with Cody and undercut the richness of their own relationship. Christine, however, wrote it off as just another one of Cody's history revision endeavors. She has since moved on and is now blissfully married to David Woolley, Cody in the past forgotten. Cody's relationships with Janelle and Christine are still strained as a result of what happened in season 19, but with Meri, there seems to be some measure of peace. In spite of their long and bumpy ride, they have come to find some sort of mutual understanding. In contrast, Cody's own life has also seen a seismic shift. Where once he stood at the center of a sprawling, polygamous family, he now walks a much emptier road, surrounded not by wives and children, but by the residue of severed connections. It's no accident that Cody has been working on his look. The man who once sported wild ringlets, a scruffy appearance, and worn yellow-stained teeth is now presenting a neater, more confident image. Viewers of the long-running show have caught on to the deliberate transformation. From his attire to his stance, Cody is attempting to present himself differently, someone more confident, more together, possibly even immunized from all that's fallen apart around him. The biggest change, naturally, is his smile. Previously a source of mockery, his teeth now shine with renewed pearly whiteness, courtesy of what many believe are dental veneers or cosmetic surgery. Web forums flashed with speculation. Why now? What is he trying to prove? Some think it's an attempt to draw fresh attention, or perhaps regain the acclaim he believes he's lost. Cody's decades-long polygamous marriage was originally justified through his religious beliefs and appeared, for a while, to work. But that harmony was an illusion. Years of inner frustration among his wives ultimately boiled over in the public eye, and in succession they walked out. What was originally a joint spiritual crusade became a mass exodus, with Cody left behind. Now, only Robin is left. Although she has remained loyal, fissures in their relationship have also started to emerge. The strain of holding together as a unit, being at peace, and emotionally close has been more apparent since the rest of the family failed to hold together. Even this last partnership hasn't remained immune to tension. And after all these monumental changes, Cody appears to be a man grappling with what's left. The consequences of his choices have reshaped everything: his family, his image, his future. His physical transformation may be an outward attempt to regain control, to reclaim his confidence, or to mask the personal losses that continue to unfold behind the scenes. Cody's indignation, both feeling abandoned and betrayed, has not been difficult to spot. He has even spoken openly about the strained relationships with his children, many of whom have taken their mother's sides. He frequently accuses the silence from his children, both in real life and on camera, without entirely accepting responsibility for his part in the downfall of the family. But subtle indications started to emerge that something had changed. Just when it looked like Cody was overwhelmed with bitterness, he began to alter direction. He sold property, bought a new house, and invested in his own image. His smile, in particular, was the focus. Photos appeared of him smiling extremely, his teeth now straighter, whiter, and more refined. Speculation ran that he had had work done on his teeth, perhaps veneers, as part of an overall campaign of self-enhancement. Of course, the question everyone started to ask was, why now? Why the sudden change? Theories abound. Some think Cody is employing his physical presence to restore a measure of control, the one place in his life where he can still exert influence. With 3 wives and numerous children lost, his previously commanding presence has surely waned. For a man like Cody, who has forever linked identity with authority, this is perhaps his means of constructing a sense of regained strength. Others interpret the change as a visual statement directed directly at his ex-wives. Sort of a silent declaration, "Look what you left behind." One of his former girlfriends has since remarried and found new love with a man who appears to provide her with emotional security Cody never did. She has been open about the deep emotional deficit in her marriage to Cody, the sense of being invisible, intimacy as drudgery, and tenderness as more of a duty than a passion. By the time Cody spiritually wedded his final wife, the emotional connection was already dissolving. His new wife had already mentally checked out before she even fully integrated into the dynamic. She would often talk about something lacking, something she couldn't even put her finger on, but felt she couldn't go on without. And even though she left, it appears that her leaving still hurts. Cody has made public cutting comments that border on unresolved anger. He's blamed her for making him and Robin the focus of her life story, as if she hasn't moved on. This has spawned mass speculation that Cody's reformation isn't so much about healing, it's about image. It's a delicate attempt to give the impression of being untouched, accomplished, and possibly even enviable. For Din, it's like he's attempting to send a message. He didn't lose, he transformed. And by doing so, maybe he's attempting to make his exes, and us all watching, wonder if they made the wrong decision. One of Cody's previous partners, her strength and no-nonsense personality, also decided to walk away from him. But unlike Christine, she didn't remarry. Rather, she turned inward. She relocated to a different state, started her own company, and began rebuilding her life around her children. For Cody, her decision to walk away and thrive without him might have been the ultimate blow. She made it unmistakable that she would no longer put his needs before hers, her rights to land, or the welfare of her children. That type of self-governance was alien to a man who had spent years at the hub of control. While building a new life for herself on her own terms, perhaps Cody's feeling of control and importance started to disintegrate. Seeing her thrive apart from him might have stirred a feeling of fear or even inadequacy, feelings that perhaps spurred his desire to change, or at least seem changed. And then there's his third ex-wife, the one he had the most tension with, and where that once turbulent relationship takes one more shocking turn. Even though they've had a long history of strife, Cody recently spoke glowingly of her. He's even referred to her as his favorite ex, even after all those years apart. His emotional outburst over her departure, such as tearful moments and emotional language, indicates stronger feelings than he first claimed. Perhaps he hoped that since she was still single, perhaps there was still an avenue for reconciliation. Maybe all this whole emotional and physical makeover, his new house, his trimmed smile, his transformation, was a sly attempt to reclaim her. But would any of them ever come back? The verdict is clear, unlikely. Each one of these women broke away with intention and purpose. After years of being pushed to the side, emotionally exhausted, and shown love with strings attached, they finally elected themselves. Their paths since they broke up with Cody have been telling. One of them discovered new love and stability. Another found motherhood and loneliness sources of peace. And the third is slowly finding her voice after a lifetime of silent suffering. In the meantime, Cody seems to be rewriting his history. From his real estate strategies to his rebranded image, all seem part of a tightly controlled rebuild. At its heart, this rebirth seems to stem from a desire to reclaim control over public opinion, possible new relationships, or former ones. But what is most interesting is that his relationship with his still-married wife, Robin, hasn't remained untouched either. Shouldering the emotional burden of the family's demise has cost something. Cody long pledged to patch things up with his estranged children, but what he does says otherwise. He clearly stated he wouldn't sacrifice his own happiness for anyone, not even his children, and now it appears happiness translates to comfort in his reduced, quieter home. A home without Christine, Janelle, or Meri, without the big family dynamic that had defined him. As fans continue to watch, speculate, and analyze every move, one thing remains obvious: Cody cares deeply about appearances. Once a symbol of spiritual leadership and family unity, he now stands alone, polished, refined, and trying to prove he's still wanted, still important. But whether this transformation brings him the fulfillment he seeks remains to be seen. His ex-wives are still healing, his children are still hurting, and his vast, complicated family of the past now only lives in memories. Hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more information and updates every day. See you next time.